Good morning. Coach Tina here. I sure hope you guys as well. I'm going to find us on Facebook and make sure that everybody gets access. And I hope that everybody is having an astounding morning. Right? And what we are doing, as you can tell over my shoulder, I have some coffee for everybody. That is because I am in a hotel. I'm actually in the hotel because the cafeteria hasn't opened yet. Because I am where am I? This is funny. I am in Denver, so I am in the mountain time zone, and I see Margaret saying good morning. Hello, my friend. As you can tell, I just jumped out of bed. Actually, I set my alarm and I gave myself enough time to wake up, but then I had to get dressed and I had to run down here and find a location. And as you can see, there's stuff going on, but that's okay. Let me get us set to go be pinned to the right place. And there we are. If you're joining me this morning, I just want to say hi. I am Coach Tina, and I am on a trip with my husband and my kids, my oldest daughter. So from my first marriage, my oldest, we have 9 together. She's not the oldest in the 9, but my oldest is getting married this weekend. I know they stole the coffee. You guys wanted some. And we are going to have, we're leaving to go to a Airbnb in the morning. Tomorrow morning. And so this weekend has been about us getting ready. As you can tell, I have my nails painted. I hardly ever wear nail polish, but hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? And what we are doing is she rented an Airbnb just for her and her soon-to-be husband, his brother and girlfriend, my 3, so her siblings, and my husband and I, and then her dad and his new wife are coming up. And we are just spending this kind of intimate 3 days together while they go through their ceremony. They are eloping, so it's not having a pastor or anything like that. They're just having a really good time together. And they've been together almost as long as Chris and I have. She met about a week after Chris and I did. So Chris and I, old school, we jumped right into getting married, right? She's about to be 29. And so she took a little bit longer in her approach because that's what they do. And that's okay. That's part of moving ahead. So that's enough about me, and I would like to share about my topic this morning, which is about making progress. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I picked this topic, and the first is, if you have been with me all of this month, you noticed that we started with a masterclass on the first week of the month, and we did a deep dive into why we delay doing things, why we are not getting our stuff done that is so important to us. And then we had a workshop that weekend. I call them weekend workshops, where we did a deep dive into what was holding us back. And so I worked with each person individually on their stuff. And then now we are been a little bit more into a week of working on what's going on in our life. What are the things that were really important to us were noted during that time period. And now 3 weeks into the month, as we start the 3rd week of the month, which it takes 21 days to create a habit. And so we're nearing that point where if you've been working on this goal, you are probably been, because of the focus, because of the energy directed to one thing, you have started to see some results. And as we hit 3rd week, if you aren't seeing the results that are going to get you to the end of the month with that goal accomplished, you need to start evaluating, what do I need to do now? And sometimes it's just a matter of, you make the goal at the beginning of the month, and by the end of the month, you're like, I didn't do anything. And it's a wake-up call that, hey, if I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, or if I'm going to be the person that I said I was going to be, I have to take some actions. And it's really easy in life to just let it go and not remember that that's what you have to do, or to actually do something about it, right? And so we can let those things slide to the next month, to the next month, to the next month, and wake up at the end of the year and be like, oh my God, my goals are all the same as last year. Or we can do something. And I love it. Margaret is saying she has been making jewelry every single day since we have been talking. That is so awesome. She has these neat racks that she bought, and she's got it to where she's almost filled up the whole rack with earrings. That is fantastic. I am super excited for your progress, Margaret. And for the rest of you, I see you saying good morning. Thank you for saying that. Don't forget to say #live. And if she's back and she's back. Hey, you guys, thank you for your patience. Apparently, my Wi-Fi is not as strong as I thought, and I got a fantastic freeze right there and a restart. But I'm here now, and I think you guys can hear me. So I want to roll right into the reason you're here today, which is to find out how to know if you're making progress. And it all has to do with, as we sit in this third week of the month, and kind of in between, we're hopefully we've accomplished those goals we set out to do. But if we're still in the works or have forgotten about them completely and now are like, oh my gosh, I have a week or so left to get done. And I say a week, we've got 12 days, right? But so the thought is, a lot of times as women, we are really hard on ourselves. And so we might actually be making progress, but we're not allowing ourselves to see the progress. We just have that feeling. It's almost like a habit of, I'm so busy, I'm overwhelmed, I haven't gotten this ability to finish what I set out to do. Or we make our goals so friggin' hard that we're nowhere near to getting them done. And yet, so we never check them off the box. And because of that, we feel underwhelmed, like I'm never going to meet at the level that I want to be at. And so what we need is a way to measure our progress, because progress is really what is going to make you happy. They say that the journey is the point, not the destination. So it feels like trying to get the goal done. It's how you accomplish the goal, who you become while you're working on the thing you want to do, that actually brings the happiness, that makes you feel like you're doing the thing. So let's jump on that bandwagon. So let's use it as an example. Come on, baby. Yes, we're back with Margaret's earrings. What is happening is she is enjoying the fact that she's making the earrings. This part of her, the creative part, the part that is jazzed about starting this jewelry making business, about being ready for her craft fairs and the things that she has coming on the pipeline. As she's making those jewelry items, she is thinking about the future. She is imagining the person who gets to wear that and how she's changing their life. And I still need a pair of earrings, Margaret, to wear to the wedding tomorrow. What am I thinking? Anyway, this point is when you are making progress, it changes things. That's when the magic happens. So let's find a way to know that we're making progress. When you do Date with Destiny with Tony, he's really big on telling us to make things simpler so that it's easy to be successful instead of so freaking hard. And he has us go through this whole thing where we make these rules in our life. And when we evaluate our rules, we realize that we make it really, really hard to be successful. And we make it super easy to screw up. And then we grade ourselves on those two scales. And so we only see the screw up. We don't see all the success. So the first and foremost thing, the thing you need is a measuring tool. Okay. So what does your measuring tool look like for success? Sometimes people will say, I have to finish this item. All right. And then we don't. But we might have gotten like 99% of it done, but because we didn't complete, we've done a bad thing. Right. And so we rate ourselves on that. But in other times you can say, you know what? I'm going to spend 2 hours a week over the course of this month. So I'm going to get maybe 8 hours on this project. And then you can check that off. You can say, you know what? I spent 8 hours. And if you knock it out in 3 and you check that box, you are jazzed. You are complete. But you've given yourself a benchmark that makes more sense. So let's give ourselves management tools that allow us to pick the progress. Realistic goals. Yes, Margaret, that is a perfect thing to say. Thank you, because you are probably more awake than I am right now. And you are remembering the things that I have told you, which I think is really awesome. But really, really a great idea. And the next thing is, and I wrote my notes backwards, so I love this. I just told you the most important point, which is really important in case we lose internet again. But the other thing is you have to define what progress looks like to you. So stop making it that the end product is the answer. We just need to say that progress, what it looks like to us, and how you're going to get there is to look at your own progress blueprint. Think about the times in your life where you have felt really successful, where you have felt like the things that you have done have mattered, that you put effort and time into it, and it wasn't a last minute action. It was totally well felt. You did the work and you saw the results. That is your blueprint. And you just need to recreate that if possible, because I look at like my blueprint when I was in my 20s and I had the energy of like, oh my God, like a lot of people say I have a lot of energy now and I do a lot of things. Nothing compared to me in my 20s. But I can still use the blueprint of the desire I had behind that energy, that knowledge, that knowing, that confidence. Like I was the crazy confident person in my world. I don't understand even where I got it from. But if I can harness some of that old confidence where I'm like, I am meant to do this stuff, that fuels me. That gives me the progress that I need. So maybe progress in my world is having the confidence to believe that I can achieve the thing. Because when I flip that and I do the opposite of that, when I don't even want to get started because I'm like, it never works out for me. I try really hard and then I have these tech issues. I have these things that happen and it doesn't work. Yeah, that's not going to get me the momentum, the excitement, the energy to do it at all. So define what progress looks like to you. Dig deep into your past, your energy source, and figure out how you work. And that's what we do together in our group. That if you may have heard that we're doing the Voyager, the Champions Voyage, and it's all based on working together for a year and really locking in these times together. In fact, we have these check-ins during the third week where you get to work with me one-on-one. It's a quick session, but it's just like, hey, what's going on and what's holding you back and what is working for you? And when you're in the Voyager program, you get to schedule that at any time during this third week. And it's a marker for you because just like we've talked about, if you're cleaning your house and you need to get your house ready for guests, I will not just for guests, like if I hire a housekeeper, I'm the one who goes and gets I clean up a little bit before she comes because there's stuff that she doesn't need to be working on that only I can do. And so that is kind of how you need to address how you're going to work on things. And so when we do our check-ins at the third week, we're holding you accountable. We're having you clean up your act, because a lot of people don't want to not show up and have their stuff done. They want to tell me, oh yeah, I did these things that I meant to do, and what they're going to do to get finished. And it builds that momentum. Whereas if someone isn't there for you, it's so easy to let it slide. Think about like going to the gym with your friends, or if you have a walking buddy. When you tell them you're going to be on the corner at 8 a.m, you show up. But if they can't make it that day, or you don't have anybody, it's so easy to be like, I'm sorry, I just don't want to walk today. It's like dark out, or it's chilly, or there's some other reason. And so you don't do it. And so what we want to do is be really cognizant of having that extra person around to support you. And so if you're not in the Voyagers program with us, I am running something as soon as this ends, there will be a program. In fact, I put it in my look on the comments after this, and you will see the link to pop into this feed and have a low speed, high discussion together. But if you want to get into the program, just put #program in there, and I will get with you about it. It's really low cost for the 12 months that you are with me. I promise you, I am doing this as a trial because I am getting the systems in place and making sure that this is the most fantastic experience for everybody. But we are putting a marker a year from now, and we are saying this is what's going to happen to us in September of 2024. This is the who I'm going to be in the future. And then I am basically coaching the future you to make sure that you meet that goal, that you become who you are meant to be in a year. And we work together one-on-one, and we do things like this third week check-in on a one-on-one basis so that you have the accountability you need to be pushing those goals forward. So the last thing is, and I love it because Margaret put truth down as her comment, and the whole thing is when you are struggling with progress, when you don't feel like you are making the level of progress that you want to be making, I want you to question if it is truth. If you are really truly not making progress, or if you are in a habit of pushing yourself down and feeling like you don't do the things. And so again, because you have created that environment where you have stopped yourself from reaching the goal at the end, but you've been doing 99% of the work and never completing, you start to really rag on yourself, and you make it feel like you're not making progress. But it's really that story that feels good to you to keep telling people, oh, I never do the things that I'm meant to do, or I'm my worst enemy, and I am self-sabotaging. Those things that you're saying to yourself, they are toxic. They are not good thoughts, but they are not the truth if they're not. And so the next time you catch yourself feeling down about your progress, I would like you to ask yourself, is this truth? Is this a true representation of the effort that I have been putting forth in this process? And instead of beating yourself up, celebrate yourself for what you have been doing. Find that one or two little things that, while they might seem minute, they are the beginning stages of what it is you have to do. I think it's really interesting because, like, when we plant a seed, it takes a while for the seed to pop out and do something, right? And it takes some water and some effort on our part to make that growth happen. But you have to not think that I just need to throw the seed out because it's not doing anything on day one. So I hope that those 3 things have been useful to you. It is obviously checkout time in the lobby that I'm in. They are out here getting all kinds of support and help from the help desk, and I should probably check out now, even though I've been able to keep my internet all this time. So what I'm going to do is I have 10 minutes until I start the group check-in. And this is the time for anybody, even if you're not in the Voyager program, everybody that has attended and been working on a goal this month can come in and get some support on the goals that are going on in your mind right now, or the things you need to do to catch up. And we can just have a further conversation on this third week thought. So if you want to jump into it, check the feed in just a little bit. I'm going to switch to my phone and probably go outside where I might find a little bit more quiet. All right. Hope you guys are having a really blessed week. I'll be here till Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday, I'll be back at my computer in a way that I can support everybody in online fashion. But I just want to say, have the best week possible, and don't be so hard on yourself. Set yourself up for success this week so that by the end of this week, we can have a celebration. We are going to be asking everybody, what did you accomplish this month, and celebrating everybody's what they were able to achieve. And I can't wait to celebrate you. I want you to be the success that you are, to be the woman who wins. Love you guys, and have a fantastic week.